Jambo Wote. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? What is up? Happy weekend. Happy Hanukkah. At least I think it's still Hanukkah. Hanukkah. Yep. Until Monday. It's Hanukkah for another 2 days. Whoa! Paleness. No, thank you, paleness. We don't want you. We will go with not pale. Gerlet will go with not pale. How's everyone's weekend going? What is up? How are you all doing? I am having a pretty good weekend. I decided to take things slow and just calm the fuck down. 'Cause I've just been between work and just my body. I've been so just worn out. So it was really nice. Hey, Thyatira, how you doing? So it was really nice to just not do many chores, to not entertain. Like, I did not stream an extra day, even though I was thinking about it since I'm going to be gone for most of this upcoming week. You'll notice in Twitter and on Discord and in the panels down below, which are all the places my weekly schedule goes up, that I will be in Seattle for New Year's. So I'm streaming today. We're going to go through the second investigation in Night Call, and I'm very excited because the first one was really fun. Everyone seemed to really enjoy the game, so I'm looking forward to doing a second investigation that's a little bit harder, according to the game. And anyway, so yeah, it was nice to just chill out yesterday. I went grocery shopping because I didn't have enough food for dinner. But other than that, I didn't really do much. Well, I took out the recycling. Alright, so I did a couple of little things, but mostly I didn't do anything. Friday, I worked and then got home, and me and other members of the community watched Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. Just like intercourse. Just like that intercourse. JP, thank you for the host. Is Night Call a game or your latest task? No, it's the game. It's the game that we're playing today. We played it once before and there's investigations in it. You can also hover over the screen and see that is the game that we are playing, if ever that's information that people want. Also, you can do !game and the game that I'm playing will show up. Just some neat stuff that I tend to forget about. So I'm assuming other people forget about it too. I'm very distractible today. So yeah, we watched Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Leaf had never seen them, and I wasn't going to let another person go without seeing at least Star Wars. So we watched 2 of the movies on Friday after I got home from work, and that was really great. That was a lot of fun. We had people coming in and out. It was nice getting to hang out with you guys. I always love that bit. And then it was time for Leaf to stream. For those of you who don't know or haven't seen me hosting them, Leaf and Nate co-stream on LeMayo Show. So I hung out with them while I was getting dinner. I ordered a burger and fries, and then I played Destiny until my food got here. And then I ate, played a little more Destiny, and went to sleep. And then Saturday, I took like the longest hot shower. And I was like, yeah, it feels real nice. And then all I did was I got tea and and had my breakfast. I'm gonna boot the game now so we can start doing game things, and I will stop rambling eventually. And I watched the last episode of The Mandalorian, and oh my fuck, that show is so good. I know that I talk about the ending credits and how I love the art. I took a screenshot from the ending credits of the last episode, and that's my new background. Is the game loud today, or is it just probably just the menu? Let me know once we get in to the game. So I'm gonna load this and see what happens. I think it'll just boot me over to select a investigation. But yeah, so I watched The Mandalorian, and oh my god, it was so good. If you can get your hands on... Oh no, this is wrong. Alright, let's, back to menu. I guess we have to start a new thing. Just because I click new game doesn't mean I need to sign in again. Anyway. So I guess we select new game then. Because I thought it would put us at the end. Like, we finished that investigation. You gasped and stood out of your chair for when you watched The Mandalorian? But yeah, after The Mandalorian, then I played Destiny for like 6 hours. I played Destiny from like 10 a.m. until like 3 p.m. And I was like, I guess I'll go grocery shopping. I like puttered around for another hour before I went. And then I got back, made some dinner, and I watched 4 episodes of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel because that show is so good. I watched the first episode, like, they make me laugh like loudly. Straight up, hands on my head, jaw dropped. Excellent. My Alexa responded to you, I don't have an opinion on that. Well, it's good to know you're not judgy, Alexa. Choose the difficulty. We're gonna pick balanced. So, Angel of Death, random victims, unknown motive, weird case, slightly more difficult than the others. But yeah, we're gonna go balanced. God, Mandalorian's so good. I'm just thinking of all the things that that show was really good. Mrs. Maisel also really good. Totally different though. I wouldn't say, oh, you like Star Wars? Let me recommend Mrs. Maisel to you. But I would just recommend it to about anybody to try. Unless you're offended by strong language, in which case, why the fuck are you here? Why are you here? Whew. So yeah, that was my night. And I didn't sleep very well, so I am heg exhausted. Why did it sound like we got shanked again? JP, I don't think I can. I can't. I don't. Too vague, man. Too vague. I don't understand what you want. Okay, so we did get shanked. So that must be why you can't click continue. I thought that if you like kept one save file, because we finished one investigation, and in case you're wondering, guys, I'm going to spoil the game that I'm playing right now since we played it before. Yeah, we played the first investigation, and at the end, you drive away from the city and you're like taking a break, and you can choose to either walk, into the forest and disappear, or drive back to the city. And I thought that if you chose to drive back into the city, or no, to go to the sea, the ocean or something, which anyway, but the way that it was worded made me think that if I clicked on the same save file, that it would then be progressive, like that the cops would use me again, like that the story would be continuous. But this is so far the same as the start of the first one, so I guess each investigation is kind of like its own game. And I don't know if this is the same characters. We'll have to see. So since we've seen this already, I'm going to go through it a little bit quickly, because this is identical so far. Sir, can you hear me, or do I need to speak up? Yeah, speak up! We're gonna... Is this okay? Is my voice loud enough? Louder! And now, is this okay? Louder! Harder! Not so loud. We're just gonna say, yeah, thanks. Takes a deep breath. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Yeah, this is all the same, except for I just picked different dialogue options to be silly. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you are the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The killer, the media are calling the Angel of Death, stuck a knife in your right side. It hit several organs. To be frank, you were in a terrible state when they brought you in, and we were obliged to put you in an induced... Bloop, 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 bloop. Her voice fades. And we're like freaking out. And then I feel my wound. And I go, ugh. Did they... I'm sorry? Did they catch the angel? No. What about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. So this is exactly the same as the other one. So I'm assuming that, like, the motives and the whodunit are the same, or are different, but that the overall story is the same. What? Ooh, red. You'd love it if the game was like, sir, you were in a coma, and the protagonist said, what, again? Oof. Okay. The police would like to see you as soon as possible. Only person to have survived, that's the same as before. Noise in the hallway, you need to rest, and she's like yelling at them to leave me alone. And then the detective is like, I'm a Bishwap. Because that's how she gets in there. And we had this discussion about anger being a combination of pain and exhaustion, and I was like, not always. Days go by and a month later. We're back on the job. Boss. Well, look, I've got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Yeah. He stares at you. Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside your head. You always seem so far away. This is identical as well. Sorry. I just want things to get back to normal, to clear my head, to stop thinking about it all. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know. I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again. My father died. He left me store. I could have sold it. I could have retired, gone back to old country. I didn't give him an accent before. But I decided to start a cab fleet, hire guys from the neighborhood. I've got 45 of you and none of them are any match for us. We are the best at our job. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment. No, I'm fine, don't bother, because we just played the game. Your boss seems a little embarrassed. It'll just take a minute, it'd make me feel better. There's no need, really. He holds up both hands, it's no use. Okay then, fine, I know I can trust you, but I think everyone would be a lot happier if you took it easy for a while. He gives you a searching look, then lets out a peculiar soft sigh. It ends on a high note. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. Gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. Have a good evening. Goodbye. Sarcasm in his voice is palpable. Right, you have a good evening too. He's got a long night ahead of him. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you. You are branded. Alright. Tingle, tingle, tingle engine. It's impossible to describe how you missed that feeling of the engine tingles. Ooh, it makes me tingle in my giblets or my spine. You know, one of the two. Despite it all. Okay, so this time... I don't know if they're gonna act like they know me because I have this information about them. Like, I don't know if the saved games overlap at all. I wonder if they can overlap, because it didn't save for me after we finished the game. It acted like we still had the last, like the ending to go through. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to take a look at who's around here. Hey, Mr. DJ, keep playing this song for me. Out on the floor in my arms, he's gotta be. I'm going to take our homeless friend a lot less because holy hot damn did I lose so much money. I'm going to take this person. I can't tell who this is. I don't know if we've met them, but we've met the DJ. Alicia Clefs. She's going 4 kilometers for 14. All right. The words, I can sense them. They're calling me. Your next passenger immediately raises her hand. Drive. I don't care where. I just need you to drive. Okay. That's not how this works, lady. Oh, I'll just put the meter on and go. Turn the key in the ignition. Yes, there. Good. Keep going this way. Her deep, full voice makes you slightly uncomfortable. With closed eyes, she seems like she's in a place far from the back seat of your taxi. When she starts speaking, there's an odd whistle in her voice, like she has a hole in one of her teeth. Like one of those, what are those called? Like the stones that have the circle in them, but like naturally, not like somebody drilled it. Is it a lodestone? L-O-D-E? Or is that just a video game thing and I'm making this up? I swear there's a word for them. Either that, or I'm just thinking of Neil Gaiman. One of the two. Slow down. Frail or fragile? A bit surprised, you look back at her in the mirror. Answer me, frail or fragile? I'm not sure. Don't think about it. Just say the first one that comes to your mind. Frail or fragile? Fraggle. I don't know if we're being obnoxious or if that's like a panic. Is it a panic fraggle? Fragile. Ah, odd. I wouldn't have thought that of you. After all, frailty implies more to humans, or applies, not implies, applies more to humans than to objects. The whistle in her voice crackles for a second. Both words actually have the same root. A smile spreads across her face. Oh, is this how we're gonna do this today? Wake up! Wake up, mouth! 2 words, 2 units. And life went on, and words mixed once again. You know it, sister! She pauses. Are you okay? I forgot about the weird smiley faces. She doesn't hear your question because she starts to scream. Go down this street and stop! Ah, level up! You speed up in the quiet street. The cold weather has driven away all the passerby. I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not. There, yes, good. I've got it. She cries out with joy and it resonates in the cab. Oh! That is the sound of joy. Congratulations, chat. Now you know. You want to hear joy all around you? Oh! Just take a clip of this. Just clip this and play it to yourself. You're down, you're feeling sad, and you're like, I need to be surrounded by joy right now. Or if like people being negative, and you just listen to, oh! 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 That's the sound of joy exploding in your eardrums. I'm exceptionally weird today, aren't I? She cries out with joy. I've got it! Oh, I've got it! Look, the words are right there. They're wandering past us like sheep, like... She explodes with laughter. Oh! What words? She immediately stops laughing. She silences you with a wave of her hand. Get out of here. So predictable. Now I must write. She closes her eyes. Her fingers stroke imaginary upholstery. Upholstery? Who? Are you writing on somebody's couch? Like, what do you... The frail are forced into battle. She didn't use my word. Together come the children, a son and a daughter, standing tall to salute. Well, speaking of salutes, T, thank you for being a patron of the hype for 19 months. I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here is your royal salute. I think you forgot to click the streak button or something. Oh no, I'm a liar. Why did I think you had 24? I don't know, man. But thank you so much. How are you doing? Thank you for the 19 months. That is a lot. I appreciate it. I know I still haven't done your emote. Because I finished it, and then when it was done, I was like, this is hideous. I hate it. So I have to redo it or figure out how to make it so that I don't hate it. I just haven't had the time with holiday stuff. But I promise it is a priority. I know you're like, yeah, just take your time, whatever. And I'm just like, let's do it now. Anyway. So, Pole Sana, I'm sorry that it's taken me so long. It wasn't intentional. Also, we should be, I'm keeping my eye out for our hello emote to go through. It'll look familiar because it's hype. I had hype turned into hype hi. So I'm really excited for that to come through. Anyway, together come the children, a son and a daughter, standing tall to royal salute. They will cry. Oh yes, they will cry. Oh shit. She's like all serious and I'm just like making her the silliest human on the planet. The eaglets fly behind. The frail will say, your passenger freezes. When she opens her eyes again, she stares at you. What happens when you sleep? She's waiting for your answer. I have nightmares. She tilts her head to the side just a bit. That's for our character, not me as a human. Although I did have a dream last night that I was out at the beach. And it was so sunny and bright outside, and everything was green. And there were lots of cats. There were like 3 cats on the deck. And I kept trying to put up the umbrella. I was setting up 2 umbrellas like overlapping for some reason. I don't know why. That's weird dream logic. And they kept falling over though. And the base kept like, it was cement and more of it kept disappearing every time I looked at it. So I didn't quite get to enjoy the beach or the cats, but I was like very nearly there. I have weird dreams. No, that's a lie and you know it. And what happens when you drive? I work, I make a living. Exactly, you give your time to others. She laughs strangely, almost a snicker, as her eyelids droop. What a weird lady. And the son will say, frail father, I want you to come back to life. And the daughter will say, frail father, I want you to come back a winner. The whistle in her voice grates on your ears. The father responds, you must choose, as the eaglet lands upon his shoulder. Together they fly off. And thus all began, fragile, frail, 2 paths that can't be fooled. The son and daughter will grow up, though not at the same place. When early one morning, 20 years later, they wake up. They wake to the sound of a bugle. The sound will be beaten, churned, and clubbed until he wakes from a 1,000-year nightmare. A nightmare that kneaded together earth and life and brought into the world a dream for the daughter and the son. May they learn to live again without their father. Frail and fragile. Frail is fragile. She catches her breath. 11 years. I've been writing this poem for 11 years. Good job. You get the impression she didn't even hear you. For 11 years I've been trying to finish the text. I can't even imagine. 11 years and you haven't even finished it? Like, whether you think you want to muck with it is a different thing, but just to finish writing it, like, imagine the sense of relief. I'm really fidgety today. Whew. Just chill out. Calm down. It's filled with so much. It's infused with my entire life. Its lungs are swollen with my tears. Lady, I don't think that's how anatomy works. You might want to get that checked out. Her breathing is now quite irregular. Oops, sorry. She giggles. Thank you. She sighs and places a few bills in front of you, far more than the fare. Stop here and you pull the cab over. Keep everything. I have nothing more. She gets out of the taxi without a peep. Wait. She walks away without responding to your call. Alright. It seems to you that it's only an impression, but it looks like she's getting smaller and smaller with each step. Darkness swallows her, and you sit there a bit shaken by her poem. You pick up the money, something falls at your feet. You grab onto a small, shiny white seashell with your fingers. You look at it for a second without saying a word. 11 years. The idea makes its way into your brain. You take a minute and drive off. Damn! That tip is juicy. Thank you. Kitty! We have to see the kitty. I need to make sure that he's okay. And this will also tell us if ooh. Yeah, that's a pretty good price too. It'll also tell us if this is acting like we've met before, if it's taking information from the fact that like we've done this once. I don't think it will, but who knows if the game will be like, oh, you've seen this interaction, so we're gonna play it differently? No idea. But anyway, we'll see. Accept. You pull up to the sidewalk and wait for your passenger. Since it looks like a no-show, you get out of the cab after a minute or two to smoke a cigarette. There's not much going on in this small town in the suburbs. There are a few apartments that still have lights on. A sweet scent hangs in the air. Eventually, you stub out your cigarette and get back into the car. You jump, startled. A cat has managed to slip into the cab. Okay, so this is the same so far. It's sitting on the back seat, staring at you intently. You sit there for a moment, considering whether or not to shoo it away. But just as you're about to wave your hand, the cat shifts positions and a piece of paper falls from its collar. Pick up the paper. You pick up the piece of paper and unfold it. A fragment of a map of Paris, the Saint Lazare train station. You turn your eye slowly to the cat. He seems to be expecting an answer. You going somewhere? Cat tilts his head to the side, as if to say yes. Dummy, that's why I'm in your cab. You want to go to Saint Lazare? Cat tilts its head again. Are you a dog? Cat slowly shakes its head no. Your hands clutch the wheel tightly. What the hell's going on? Okay, so yeah, this is identical. I'm taking you. Let out a sigh. Okay, fine. Start talking to yourself. Normal. This is all perfectly normal. You start the cab, but cast a glance at the cat behind you. You're the one who ordered the cab? You start to laugh. A few minutes go by, you try to break the ice. Simple questions are probably best. Everything okay? Neither a yes or a no, more of a plaintive meow. I'm gonna just pick the answers that I know are correct and see if it's the same thing. Running away from someone? Cat lets out a long plaintive meow. Another cat? Your owner? A long melancholic meow. You nod your head. What happened? Was it a man? No answer. A woman? Was she mean to you? Cat seems to be uncertain. Was she overly affectionate? Yeah, meow, 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 meow. Yes, yes, yes. Touché. That's it? She's too affectionate, and that's why you're running away? You're on the right track. You have to be careful with people like that. They suffocate you. Yeah, this is identical, which is a little disappointing. I hope you guys don't mind if I skip through the dialogue that we've seen. I want to get to the investigation, and if I don't have to spend 7 hours streaming one investigation this time, that would be nice. Go on. Tell me your troubles. We don't even know we're in a cage. We prefer not to think about it. We're never fully aware. Look at the cat. Must be crazy. No, kitties understand. You gotta pet them. Why is the sky so bright today? Might have to close the blinds a bit more. That's Saint Lazare. We'll be there soon. Stop at the drop-off station. First train doesn't leave for another hour. Where are you going? Stares at you without making a noise. Let me guess. Saint Lazare. If you're going to the suburbs, you wouldn't have needed to come into town. So somewhere in the northwest? Normandy? Somewhere by the sea, huh? Cat is looking at you and meows. A sharp sound, probably a yes. A very hungry yes. Katie wants some fish. Fish snacks. For the fish, I guess. Yeah. You check the time on the dashboard. It's time to go. To get a real customer. The cat pays us, though. Try not to think too much about the situation you're in and hope that no one sees you talking to a cat. Go on, Kitty. I just start saying the names of cities and you meow when I hit the right one. Start to list cities in Normandy. Cat doesn't move a muscle. Cherbourg. Cat looks up. So it's Cherbourg. Getting close? St. Malo? Nothing. I've got it. Deauville. A meow of delight. You're smiling too. All of a sudden you're exhausted. Okay, come on. Time to say goodbye. You get out of the cab and open the back door. That was different, at least. A bill has appeared on the seat next to the cat. Is enough for the fare and more. Well, you're full of surprises, aren't you? I won't ask you where it came from. So yeah, everything there was the same, with the exception of asking the cat what city it was going to. That was new. It leaps out of the car and darts between your legs. You can just make out its shape dashing up a flight of stairs and slipping between the bars of a gate. Sorry I'm so fidgety today. I can't seem to get comfy. Oh my gosh, sky orb, so bright. Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna close the blinds just a bit more. Because it is just making me look like the spookiest ghost lady in the land. And, it ain't Halloween, so I don't want to be a ghost lady today. You can just make out its shape dashing up a flight of stairs and slipping between the bars of a gate. You get back in the car. What's auto mode? You look at yourself in the rearview mirror. Your features are heavy with fatigue. Your right eyelid is twitching. As you start the car, you remember you're allergic to cats, but you haven't sneezed once. You pull out of the station. Because he's the perfect kitty. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets in the back seat. Oh yeah, Busset. I think I was pronouncing it Busset, because that's how I decided to pronounce it. Having a good night? For a second you freeze. You recognize one of the cops working on the Angel of Death's case. She grins at you, her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. So yeah, this is the same. So we're just gonna go through this. She doesn't like us. She thinks that there's something off, so she looked into it. And she looked at my background and we were in prison or jail or something. And we thought that she was a bitch. Gonna be frank with you, and she's gonna use us to find the to help her with the investigation. Or she threatens blackmail. She threatens to tell the people in my life, especially my girlfriend, that I changed my name and I would lose my job because, you know, it's not my real name or something like that. Go to the extent of hurting yourself, it's a bit of a stretch, yeah. Yeah, we've heard all of this. In prison at 17 for murder. But yeah, so she's like, I'm gonna fuck your shit up if you do not help me. Truth wants to go to the prosecutor with the first and last name with evidence. It's not so hot on the evidence, I'll give you information. I've never done this. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad, and don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up with a bow in front of the station, okay? I mean, if it goes anything like the judge did, then yeah, she is actually. Or she will at some point. You're no Batman, just give me information. Here, take my card, call you in 3 or 4 days. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. And then she says don't leave Paris. Blah, blah. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Does she know you've done time? You cover your tracks good. I did what I could. Yeah, if you say so. She sighs in a tired, exaggerated way. Don't try to mess with me, I'll turn you in. I'll tell everyone your name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. Hey, Rek, how you doing? Does that kitty have rainbow arms and ears? Or is it like a rave kitty, so those are like sleeveless, or fingerless, like sleevey things. Last names? Yeah, I'm gonna pick the other dialogue options just so that we can see something a little different. I'm nothing like that son of a bitch. Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle? They'll welcome you with open arms. You have no right. I know we have no right. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally and drag him to court, ruin his fucking life with a bang. I can't botch this case, and neither can you. Avi! Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you can just say you're my informant, my CI. He ripped open your gut. You saw your own insides. You were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. Oh! She's not going to give me a list of suspects this time, so that's different. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right, and don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. Fucking bitch! Yeah, whatever, if that makes you feel better. She puts her hand up. You can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. She Jedi mind tricked. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone, obviously. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed and ears buzzing. Shit. The back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Keying the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles. You turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents, clues for investigation. You'll find them back at your studio. Yep. 5 clues discovered in my room. Yes. I'm excited for this part. Because other than picking up new passengers, this is all going to be the same interactions mostly, it seems like. But the victims are random, and the motive is random. So that's what makes it harder. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Boussette gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of ... prison! Yay! Plan a simple, jot down all the pieces of evidence, connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives, understand how he or she got into this situation. You're suddenly overcome with a desire to sleep. You close your eyes, press your fingers to your eyelids, and let out a yawn. It's time to get moving on your investigation. Santa did it? I think he's too drunk to have done anything. Hervé's police file. Hold to investigate. Okay, police report victim 1. Police report victim 2. I want information on all the victims first, I think. Can we do both? We might, yeah, I think we can do both. Police report on victim 3 and killer case. Woo! 5 cluey-wees. Cluey-ways. So this time we have Hervé. I think he's just always going to be a person, poor guy. Or that's just a coincidence. Jonas Pearson, Pierrette Manderas, Apollonie Girardot, and Gilda Berger. Let's see, Gilda Berger was set designer for the opera, was hospitalized after her mother's death. Difficult relationship with her dad, also working at the opera, Catholic and a member of the Korean community in Paris. Apollonie, blurry past weird woman, probably a rich heir or something. Was born in Guadalupe, maybe, night owl. Pierrette, chef in La Pierre restaurant in Paris, in financial troubles, was an activist when she was younger, part of the Moonflesh cult. What is the Moonflesh cult? Hervé, homeless man with an unknown background, briefly worked for Charles Beaugrain, victim 2 in the 90s. Charles was a victim before in the other one as well. Hey MS, how are you doing? Did you have a good time with Celeste yesterday? Kill the burger? Burger? Oh, no, Gilda Berger is her name. I was like, kill the burger? Do you mean eat? Where's the cheeseburger? I would love another burger. I know I just had one 2 nights ago, but give me more. Always. Anyway, got health issues after Richardin health scandal. A couple of arrests for breaking and entering. I wonder if we'll figure out more about the world that we're in, because it referenced the Richardin health scandal was like referenced in multiple suspects' information cards, but it never really like came to anything. Maybe that's one of the possible motives, and that's why. A couple arrests for breaking and entering. Jonas, a brilliant programmer for several startups, wrote books about the simulation we're all living in. Destroyed evidence when the police started investigating. Alright, so we have the same thing as before, that the killer is supposedly shorter than 1 meter and 80 bits. I forget what it is again. The game beat you. Rude! Maybe next time you'll get GG. I'm sure that you will. You were doing really, really well. I was seeing the improvement of you, like, you know, because it's just learning what comes next and, like, building up muscle memory. That game is really hard. Fred! Thank you for being a patron of the Hype for 31 months. Holy cannoli macaroni face. I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute. Your favorite part. I'm excited to hang out with you later today. If we're still on, I meant to text you. But either way, how are you doing? Victim 3 left spare key under the doormat, which, for some reason, links to both of them. I'm assuming that that means that she knew the victim, and then he's a homeless guy, so naturally he would look for keys under mats and things. Just unlocked that with a sub. Aw, that's cute. I still have a few more that I need to unlock. Alright, MO. Slit throat, words written in blood, blood missing, so exsanguinated. Victim 2 had garlic in her hand? What does that have to do with it? I'm surprised that wouldn't link to the chef again. Lead Rhodes! Thank you for being a patron of Hype for 2 months! I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute! Your very first royal salute. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Should be good to play later. Stomach is upset, but I'll probably be okay. Okay. Just let me know if we need to reschedule or you're not feeling it. That's fine. Shemyaza, hey, how you doing? Murder equals rituals. Again, why does that not also link her? Moon flesh cult. You'd think ritual murder is break-ins for crime scene 1 and 2. The weapon was a fillet knife. Apparently, garlic has something to do with Apollonie. I don't know why. I don't understand. This was something that I complained about in the first investigation, too, is that, I didn't understand how these got connected to people. Like why does this one kitchen window left open by victim 1? Like, obviously height, because, you know, that's hard facts, but like, for example, the garlic one, like, why is that attached to her? I don't know. Hervé allegedly robbed a fishmonger? Okay. Hervé suspected in many break-ins, which is why all of these things are looking like Hervé did it, but I doubt it. Knowing Hervé as I do, victim 2 opened door to killer. Which explains why the first 2 were a break-in. So either victim 2 was just opened their door to everybody, or maybe they were expecting takeout. Maybe it was like anti-porn. Is that anti-porn where someone like pretends to be a delivery person with a pizza that's already gone cold, and instead of being like, did you order my dick on a pizza, or however they do that, they're like, did you order my knife in your throat and your blood on the pizza, and then like murder them? Hope everyone's enjoying the weekend. Yeah. I haven't played Destiny 2 in a while since not Battlefield. Borderlands 3 came out. Oh yeah? They've got the whole Dawning quest, so I've been trying to get that done. And apparently, I can't drop off cookies to a dude without doing quests for them first. I also have been doing some of the like quest adventures and stuff, like things that I know that you might not be interested in, so I just do them when I'm playing alone. Garlic in victim's hand. Yeah, to ward off vampires. There is the one. One what? Oh, the one porn or the one murder? Murder movie? Is it porno murders? T, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you sleep well. Thank you for lurking. I appreciate it. Have a good sleep and have a good day tomorrow. Have a good week if I don't see ya. Mwah! With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You pull open the sofa bed, which unfolds with an unpleasant creak. I don't know why that was the sound the creak made, but sure. You collapse onto the mattress. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open one eye. Apparently that's just the creaking noise. Someone flushes the toilet and you hear the pipes shake. One of them runs under your bed. You find the sound calming. I was gonna say that sounds kind of like, you know how babies in the stroller, something about like the noise, and like my grandma, when we were at the beach, would walk me in my stroller along the boardwalk, which is like slats, so there's the noise, the repetitive, like, I mean, that sounds like a horse, but you get what I mean. Just that boom, 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 boom. It's like the repetitive noise and a little bit of like bobbling around. Sounds nice. A girl orders a pizza guy comes, you ordered a pizza, girl, I did, but I don't have any money. Wink. Him, the fuck do you order pizza? Yeah. I've heard that joke before. You get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside your studio. I like how we don't, like, shower or anything at all. Oh my fuck, look how many eyeballs. That's a lot of eyeballs. In the other one, we had only one eyeball on the first night. Have we seen any of these people? Alright, so we've got old lady, we've got mustache friend, we have dimple, we have really nice hair, and we have Hervé. Oh, and I forgot her. Worried person. I feel like we have met her before. I know who Hervé is, obviously. Yeah. Nina Ishiguro. We've met her, brought her back to the restaurant. It was too late. I'm really tempted to take some of the same people so I can get different, see if I can get different responses from them. But I also want to fill out the Pasidex. So I'm going to take new people, I think. And I think she's the only person out of those who I've met anyway. So maybe we'll take old lady because she's closest to my cab. And maybe she'll take us closer to some eyeballs so I can just pop over to an eyeball. A cigarette. You want a cigarette? I'm like, yes, I know. Ooh, 5 for almost 18. That's a good price. Passage Journal would have been a better name. Well, it's a passenger index. Like, I'm imagining kind of like a Rolodex. Or like a box full of index cards. Or, I guess, those kind of look like Polaroids that I've then written on the bottom of. Or on the back of or something. But those would also go in a box. I need to talk to you. The scent of orange blossom fills the air. Ooh, nice. As your passenger enters the cab, you smile. She returns your smile. Good evening. There is a raw, emotional warmth to her voice. You sense your passenger wants to talk about the killer. It's simple. Since the first murder, everyone thinks they know something. Everyone thinks they saw something. And this passenger is no exception. It's pretty cold out tonight, isn't it? You nod. There are passengers like this elderly woman you immediately take a liking to. I can almost feel the cold air settling in around the corners of my mouth. That's a weird spot to feel the cold. Pokedex, but for passengers? Yes. Oh, yeah, maybe we're high tech. We've got like a little like boop, one of those invisible tablets or like see-through ones that they have in futuristic. You get it, you know. Or maybe it's just like a Game Boy. Boop boop. It's a funny feeling, but one that a nice cup of hot tea can quickly dispel. A smile plays across her lips. Or a cup of hot chocolate, of course. I would love some hot chocolate. On nights like this, I can't go out on my own anymore. And yet I have to. She glances over at you. Why do you have to go out? Let's just say I needed to talk to you. I hope you won't get me wrong, but just drive around the block, if you will. I know who you are and what you're doing." She's quiet for a minute, either searching for the right words or simply trying to reassure you. "I admire what you're doing. The city really needs your help, so does the world. Don't take it the wrong way, but I know you're looking for the killer. I know what he did to you. I know why you're after him." She gives you a warm smile. "I'd like to make you an offer. You can either take it or leave it. But I'd like to tell you I'd like everything I tell you to remain a secret, no matter what happens afterwards. What do you say?" "I'm listening. I will do my best to keep my word." "You see, when my husband died, he left me a building. I converted it, made repairs and renovations. But above all, I gave it a goal, a role, a reason to exist. This hotel, I suppose I could call it a shelter, but that would scare away the people who need it. Some say it is a retreat, but same thing. The word has unpleasant connotations. I keep calling it a hotel because my guests need to realize that they are only passing through, that their real life is out there waiting for them." Aw, that's cute. Her eyes meet yours. There's more to the kind grandmother in the back seat of your cab than meets the eye. She got dat greatness. Just a hint. Are you following me? So I'm assuming it's like rehab? Yes, I believe so. Good. Well, anyhow, the hotel is reserved for men, women, and couples, for anyone who needs it, really. I use the word reserve, but there aren't any eligibility conditions. None other than my own, that is. We live in a wonderful country, but sometimes it fails to recall its fundamental values. Liberty, fraternity. In my hotel, I take in people who've been chased from their homes. Okay, so homeless, not... That was my other guess. Got one of those Casio electronic address books you get from those crappy mail order catalogs. I have a paper address book that has almost nothing in it. I should write more letters. And here we see the certain decay of my work-sleep schedule. You just woke up. Simon! Well, you need lots of rest. Holidays just went by. You're probably very tired. And you just underwent major surgery, and also probably sleep deprivation. You're catching up. It's a good thing. Anyway, so homeless. Right now I have a couple of women who are the victims of domestic abuse. A young woman thrown out of her home because she didn't want to have an abortion. 2 couples who were thrown out by homophobic parents. She knits her brow in consternation. Does that give you a better idea? Yes, that is much more clear, thank you. Is it free? People pay whatever they can afford. She gives you a smile. I don't do it for the money. I'm not interested in that, you know. Her forehead creases. Helping people. These people in trouble, I welcome them. I listen to them. I give them a moment's peace. Some spend a single night, others stay for a month. Most of my guests don't stay long. They leave as soon as they're back on their feet. As soon as they've found housing. As soon as they work out whatever caused them to leave home in the first place. You smile. There's always room, actually. I've never even been full. And that's what I've come to see you about. You and I, we're on the same wavelength. We're working for the common good. Her forehead creases again like a crumpled sheet. I like that. I may be wrong, of course. Am I? Shake your head no. Because we, at least in our first playthrough, and probably in this one too, like I can't help but do favors for people. Like I want to be nice to the NPCs. I can't be mean or brush them off. And like, we'll probably take Hervé on a couple of rides, which always ends up in $0. Good. Here are my rules, or requests if you would rather. Rule number 1. You can mention my place to anyone you think may be in need of help. Once you drop them off, I ask them in, I talk to them, and I take care of them. You're free to go. You don't need to worry about me. I have my own security staff. Your passenger gives her arm a pat as if she had a holster under her shirt. Your gaze locks with hers. She flashes you a meaningful smile as if you were in the know. Rule number 2. If someone specifically asks you to bring them to my place, don't do it. What if it's Hervé? That's weird. Why? Some of my guests are being pursued, hunted, and it would be a shame to let the wolf into the sheepfold. Okay. I see. A bright smile from the back seat. You can feel her warmth, the scent of your passenger's perfume. Orange blossoms, simple and suggestive. Suggestive, eh? Granny trying to get some! You go, Granny. Hangs in the air. A pause. She's watching you intently. You pull over to the spot where you picked her up. Now, I'm going to ask you once and for all. Do you want to help me? A simple yes or no will do. If it's a no, well then I'll have to find someone else. I have a question. Anytime... Guess what, you are a G-MILF. That is a grandmother that I would like to. Oh, that first episode of Death Clock is just so good. It's so good. It is my favorite one, and I quote it all the time. I quote the G-MILF line. I quote, "It's pee-pee time," like constantly. It's a grocery store, you douchebags. Sorry about douchebags, I got low blood sugar. And I always go, ladies tampons. Oh god. And then he's like pouring the rice into the cart. Brutal. Oh, well, I can't do his voice at all. Brutal. 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 Yeah, I can't do it. No questions asked. I've told you everything you need to know. No. Alright. Whoop. La ville, That's a lot of vowels in a row. Oh boy, a smile lights up your passenger's face. Here is my card. If somebody offered me this offer, I guess, to you, would you do it? She hands you the money for her fare along with her business card. You and I, we're going to do great things together. I can feel it. She exits the cab, a little squeal escaping her as the cold strikes her full force. Oof, I know those feels. She got a mouthful of cold instead of just at the corners. That's still really weird. I don't know why the seats in the front of the car are so far apart. They are in most cars. Oh, no, it's just the angle. You can see, like, they make the angle of the car so you can see the passenger and me better. But yeah, it's the perspective of the camera is meant to be turned like this. You're not staring straight down the middle of the car, or this chair would appear closer. But also so that you can see the person in the back seat, because it's a video game. Good night. Try to stay warm. She vanishes down a nearby side street. You sit there for a moment, business card in hand. As you start the cab, a slow smile spreads over your face. Damn! That's a big tip! Hell yeah. Alright, we got some eyeballs. We got someone who looks like Liv Tyler. Doesn't she look like Liv? I think I want to do some eyeballs. I think this eyeball's closer. It's hard to tell. But yeah, I think this one's closer. But as much as I like making money, we do have an investigation, and this one is supposed to be harder, so I want to get as much evidence, front load all the evidence if I can. You've been studying the outside of the church for a few minutes now. It's fairly recent, square with sharp edges, gray and ugly. Have you guys ever seen an ugly church? I feel like most churches I've seen are like real pretty. Like I feel like that's a requirement. This is where the congregation of one of your subjects, Gilda Berger, gathered. You get out of your taxi and climb the few steps to the front door. Despite how late it is slightly ajar. You go inside. The nave? I don't know what that means. Stretches out before you. There are a few people sitting in the pews, lots of women by themselves. By the look of their clothes and their ages, you're pretty certain they're cleaning women. In just a few minutes, they'll leave to take the bus or metro to clean offices all over Paris. Your eye is drawn to a very primitive and colorful wall painting on your left. In front of you stands the altar. Behind it, a man who appears to be the priest. Walk along the wall to your left. You walk across a row of pews. As you get closer, you quickly notice a symbol painted above the people in the painting. A stylized fish. Oh yes, the Jesus fish. This symbol, where it's that and then that. Can I do that with my fingers? Kind of. Nope. I can't do it. You're gonna Google ugly church? Hell yeah. Show us the ugliest churches you find. Just like the one you saw in the photo of the first crime scene. May I help you? You turn around. The priest is in front of you. He must be about 40, lean and athletic, a slightly deviant expression on his face. Hello? Yes, are you looking for something? What's this Jesus fish? He cocks his head to the side. The fish? It's an ictus, one of the earliest Christian symbols. It was a discreet way of recognizing one another. What's the link between a fish and... He cuts you off briskly. It's an acrostic. I forget what that means. I used to know. He lets a little time go by. Does anyone know what an acrostic is? He lets a little time go by just to make sure you know you have no chance of knowing what it is. A sort of acronym, if you will, like WWF or USA. More silence, even more condescending than before. Ew! In Greek, rar, ancient Greek, it means Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. JCSOGS. It's a secret code. He takes a step back. But I doubt you came here to learn about early Christian history. What are you really here for? Am I not allowed to be here? Our doors are always open to believers! Well, you're not going to make new believers. People are not going to be willing to learn if you're condescending. I simply ask that you not disturb the peacefulness of daybreak. You came over here to talk to me. I was just looking at the wall. Silently. You resist the temptation to punch his brains out. We have a very tight-knit community, and our bonds are very strong. He holds one hand out to indicate the exit. Like the drop of an axe, he says, I wouldn't want to keep you. Don't make a scene. Don't draw any attention to yourself. Why? You make a U-turn and walk towards the exit. On your right, the wall painting depicts a crowd of believers looking at various scenes. It reminds you of the movies. The drawing style is simple and almost childlike. The colors are gaudy, like it was painted by a 9-year-old. You look down. As you leave the church, so you don't lose your temper, you concentrate on the floor tiles. They're checkered, black and white. You slam the door shut behind you. Rude. Back in your cab, back to breathing normally. You smile as you think about something your boss said. This taxi is your fishbowl. He's right about that. Key in the ignition, motor running, heat on, radio on. You drive far away from the church. Huh. Did we get any evidence from that eyeball? Oh, Cranky. Cranky McLanky. I think we've taken him before. Yeah. Dennis Petitjean. You've met Dennis. Dennis knew you'd recognized him. You wish Dennis good luck. He tried to explain why he's not racist. Oof, that sentence. Now I remember who he is. He's the guy who was on that TV show, some like reality show where women date farmers, and they like made fun of him, and he's mad, and he's going to the place in the thing. Purva Rao talked about her husband to be. Is that who that is? I have to see the picture again. Yes. I'm gonna take Purva again because I want to see. I mean, it's possibly going to be the same. 35 for 11. That's pretty good, I think. She's going to the airport. So yeah, these are all the same. If the dialogue's the same, I'm gonna like skip through it. Is the camera a bit higher than usual? No, I'm just slouching. You can see the top of the chair. You can see where my head is. But I'm slouched over today. I'm sitting with my feet up on the chair. My knees are right here. She gets in the cab and whispers, "Hello." She has no handbag or suitcase, a small sign with a name. Yeah, she's going to pick up her future husband. And she doesn't want to go. It's an arranged marriage, and she hasn't met him. And yeah. She nods her head. It's really early. Everyone's asleep. I don't want to go. Family, my future husband. I've never met him. Her accent becomes stronger. Yeah. Sure, he's a great guy, as they say here, but I don't know him at all. My parents chose him. Aren't you shocked? Last time we said no. Sad smile washes over her face. Her parents are old school. Right, and she studied here instead of England. I don't know what that has to really do with anything. Oh, she just likes Paris. This is home now. My parents insist I meet him. He has a meeting. I'm gonna say nothing. I think we said it's hard to hold it against them before. I can't remember what we said before, actually. It's understandable from their perspective. I mean, it worked for them. I think that is exactly what we said before. Whoops. I was trying to choose differently. She slowly regains control of her body. What day trips would you recommend? Versailles, because it's very pretty. Or there's Fontainebleau, hiking. I don't know what he likes. Yeah, but that's why you suggest it. And which terminal to see? It's supposed to be a nice day out. Yes, I hope so. All the better to get to know my husband with. Woo-wee! Thank you for that tip, my dear. Ooh, there's a really, really close eyeball. Oh, Drunken Santa. Oh. I think that might be a new eyeball, though. Do we take Drunk Santa or the eyeball? Obviously Drunk Santa. I mean, we found him before. I think the thing that's locked is we have to be able to find his sleigh. Drunk Santa? Alright. I really want this eyeball, but I'll do it for you, chat. If the dialogue is the same as last time, I'm gonna skip through a lot of it. Chomp LEC. Yeah, that's a great price. 8 for 26. Your next passenger smells like beer. His Santa suit has been soaking in a keg. Come on, dash away! His breath is 96% brandy. Your eyes start to sting. I'm parked over there on Shit Street. His head is spinning. Impasse. It'll come back to me. Go ahead and drive. So yeah, this is identical. He's mumbling. Christmas is over. Which is contradictory to some of the other passengers, or they're celebrating Christmas. Drunk Santa is greater than Sober Santa. It gives him extra powers and abilities. Like the ability to clear a room because he smells disgusting. What's the suit for? He turns to look at you wide-eyed. Suit? Well, yeah, the Santa suit. Silence. More silence. Is he so drunk he doesn't realize he's still wearing a costume? This is no costume, kid. I'm not gonna do drunk voice today, because I just want to read it. I want to save my voice as much as I can. This is what I wear to work, just like you know? He points at his clothes. You don't dress like that in real life, do you now? I'm a cab driver. I'm assuming I'm just dressed like I dress every day. He stares at you and bursts out laughing. I'm messing with you, kid. He lowers his voice. He's confiding in you. After working my ass off all year long, I like to hit my favorite pubs. I get monumentally wasted. He guffaws. Here in Paris, there are a bunch of bistros perfect for just such an occasion. No one talks to you, and they have white wine so dry it eats away at the inside of your mouth. Yeah, this is the same. So many different types of brandy. Pear brandy, cognac. Closes his eyes in delight, and sometimes I order just one eeny-weeny beer to cleanse the palate. He's almost whispering. Okay, it's usually not one of them fancy microbrews there. He jumps. Oops! But don't tell anyone, okay? Just imagine if people found out Santa Claus thought the beer here tasted like piss. He laughs. Anyway, you can't say anything anymore. Honestly, with all the trouble I go to, people should just leave me the fuck alone. Fair weather activists. Snot-nosed kids. What's with this manure pile of a generation? Yeah, he's cranky. This is all the same dialogue that we saw before with the other investigation. He's very cranky, curses a lot. We're gonna answer, he's like, what can you do to follow up? Like, they've got all this tech they can play with. How do you follow that up? Oh. No idea. He raises his hand. At least you're honest enough to say you don't know, and I appreciate your honesty. I picked take a trip last time. Spend time with the family. He closes his eyes like he's taking a moment to rest. You want me to tell you what they really want? Machine guns and dolls whose hair you can fix. I had, when I was little, a My Little Pony with like this sort of waxy hair that was in like tiny braids, but you could like kind of form it into different shapes. Butt and Thief Santa. Apparently I'm on the naughty list. Santa blue screened your laptop. Santa, no! Yeah, he's very cranky. Hey, Hot Wheels, how you doing? So he seemed to have calmed down, and he said, everyone wants hair you can fix. Back when I made toys for kids, they couldn't care less about them. Just wanted to forget. It's a real problem. Parents are losers, putting kids into this world. Have you seen the state of the ice cap these days? Yeah, he's really angry. Cantankerous. Now, I can't say it's all bad. He's enjoying the death of polar bears. Before, things were different. Shit, I can't talk about the past without sounding like a little girl. No need to stare! You don't even have time to react. He starts back into his rant. I remember you. I remember everyone. He says we were angry and that we have bad handwriting. And he mentions our brother. And he hates the elves. I forgot about that. Right, our brother was giving us hell. Let's talk about something else. Don't react. We're gonna stoic at you, Santa. You feel relieved to have some distance from that subject. You can't forget the pain. You jump when your passenger suddenly starts talking again. Wait, I think we're almost there. Slow down a bit, kid. He searches outside for... What are we looking for? We're looking for my sleigh, kid. What else? He looks at you with pity. Shouldn't be hard to spot. There's a sleigh and a couple half-dozen reindeer. A couple half-dozen. I'm sure it's like in an alleyway somewhere. Oh, there, turn right. You obey. A few meters down, your passenger stifles a yelp. Shit, it was right here. Drive around the block. You turn, you're mumbling. Gonna get a GPS. Kid, sorry about before. I didn't mean to bring up any sore points. He pays his fare. Watch your back, kid. So we don't get to find his sleigh this time either? Slips on the wet sidewalk, grabs a street lamp. With a heavy and awkward step, he clumps along the alleyway. Right, we're gonna... We stayed last time. So I'm gonna drive away this time. Turn the key and start driving again. You open the window. Hey, at least he paid us, right? Oh my gosh! Ooh, that's a new person. But also this eyeball is like right there. You spent months in Paris? What for? For why? Yeah, this is a noir game. You are helping the police with an investigation to try and help catch a serial killer. The game has 3 investigations that you can do. We did one before, and now we're doing another one that's supposed to be harder. So some of the stuff, like some of the passengers are exactly the same. Like that's why I skipped a lot of that dialogue, because it's exactly the same as before. So I'm giving you guys like a summary rather than spending my voice reading all of that out loud. But the victims are new, the motive is going to be completely different, and the suspects are new, with the exception of Hervé, who's a homeless guy. He was a suspect last time, too. You park in front of Etienne's place, and please don't expect me to pronounce anything correctly, and turn off the ignition. You've known him for years, actually since your first day behind the wheel. He was a skinny teenager you picked up late on Sunday nights to take back to his boarding school in the distant suburbs. It was well paid but depressing. Etienne has since become a friend, and he's got intel on one of your suspects, Jonas Pearson. It's probably Jonas. Hey, Rogue Player 1, how you doing? I've not been watering myself. You knock on Etienne's apartment door and he comes to open it. He's now a muscle-bound giant who towers over you. AKA a beefcake, a casino hunk. You shush, Simon. Yeah, I'm doing alright. I'm tired, but enjoying hanging out with you guys as usual. Come on in, don't look at the mess. He talks quickly and his voice is a touch colder than usual. Something's not right. You walk into his pristine apartment. Oh wait, there's a gym towel lying on the designer coffee table. No, don't ruin the wood. Nice place. He collapses onto the couch. His attitude makes you want to stay standing. You're in deep shit. Huh? That guy you asked me to tail? I know him. Everyone knows him. Jonas? He's famous. He's like your equivalent of... There are no famous taxi drivers. What about the one from Taxi Drivers? Wasn't that a movie? Or was it just Taxi? What about, Bruce Willis in The Fifth Element? Please helped my dad out with various tasks that he did in Paris. He was hired to help some people with some military records research. He was also the chairman of a Scalextric Collectors Club? I don't know what that is. So he would help people set up their tracks and buy and sell parts at swap meets. Cool. Work at FedEx Ground. Oh, so your life is finally slowing down. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I'm a florist, which is probably not nearly as busy as you were. We were fairly busy, just Christmas Eve. And then, I guess Friday was a little bit busy because we sold out a lot of stuff, so the order that we got on Friday was busy. Or kept me busy, but it wasn't too bad. Fine. Well, he's famous, like really famous. What's so special about him? He wrote books about simulation theory. You know what that is? You shake your head. You have to imagine our reality as a simulation. That the universe isn't run by God, but by a computer. A computer running software we believe is reality. That's insane. Exactly, insane, but potentially true. I mean, how would you disprove that? Jonas is trying to figure out if it is, which brings us to what you were looking for. Your friend clears his throat. Why he clears his throat like that? I don't know. You glance around and realize this young man must earn more in a day than you do in a week, if not more. This simulation theory has recently led to the formation of several groups, extreme believers, you might say. Extreme believers in a bunch of theory. Groups that want to test the theory, or rather who want to prove it's true. But how? By crashing the system. He stands up and starts pacing. Jonas is the leader of one of these groups. You think he could kill? There's not an ounce of doubt in his voice when he says, kill? Yes, no doubt, if it would prove his theory. Etienne leans over to you. Every one of his arm muscles is flexed. Every one of his beefy arm muscles. I don't really know what you need this information for, but watch your back. Jonas is no altar boy. He's nobody's fool. Not your average nerd. He could be dangerous. A few minutes later, you're back behind the wheel of your car. You feel uneasy. All that is over your head. Simulation, internet. Yeah, we're a little bit of a Luddite. Other than our GPS, we don't really understand technology. You barely know how to use your phone. Scalextric miniature racing hobby? Oh, okay. Cars placed on a track, electrified. You race them, squeeze the trigger on a remote, and the car moves. The harder you squeeze, the more electricity enters the motor. Interesting. No, I've never heard of that. Fly off the corners if you're not careful. Oh, that's cool. I think I originally found your stream in Poba. You were at the Twitch meetup also. Oh shit! Whale. Thank you for coming by and saying hello. I'm sorry I don't remember the screen name. I mean, obviously it was familiar enough that I said just hey, what's up? Instead of hello and welcome. But without the face. I need to see the face and then I know people. Yeah, I've never heard of a name for them either, or the trigger on them. I was thinking model train sets, which they just go around on a track, I guess. I look like this. I'm expecting an emote. Ah! I was right! So, bearded dude with a baseball hat. That doesn't... bearded white dude with a baseball hat. That doesn't, describe, like, a lot of dudes in this area. Oh, Pacific Northwest is very white. It's full of white dudes and beards. Pole sauna. It's a good emote, though. Come on, you shake your head and start the cab. You've got plenty of fish to fry. You know what I want to try? I want to try fish and chips. I should have had it when I was in London, but I didn't. Ooh, I don't think that we've ever picked up this person before with the good earrings. I think we've picked up sad dude. This is angry guy. I gotta check our Passadex here. Yeah, we've picked up angry guy. Right, that's Dennis with the reality TV show. Carlo Cerruti. You helped him lie to his wife. So the reason that I am sad that we helped him, because he's a shitlord. He said that his wife would beat him, and I took him at his word, and then it very quickly I very quickly realized that he was not speaking literally. And who's that? They're too far away. I'm not going to take them right now, but that's another person we haven't met. So yeah, I like picking up the new passengers because we don't know what kind of information we're going to get from them. But if I don't have a choice, then I pick up people who still have locked items to try. Fish and chips, yum. I don't like fish, though. So my tastes have been changing since I've gotten older. Like, I don't despise mustard or pickles or raw onions anymore, or pepperoni. I like baby shrimp, but not adult shrimp. That's something that I tried actually when I was in London. Speaking of fish and London. But yeah, but most seafood is stuff that I don't like, and I keep trying it to see if my tastes have changed. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. This is a long way to drive, but that is well worth the price. Jackie Elizabeth. Hi, honey. Home, please. Yeah, post whatever you want. I don't have restrictions on links. Just don't violate TOS. It'll show it to you better. Oh, are you in Discord? Because I'm not going to watch it right now. But if you put it in Discord, I will remember to watch it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Simon. Well, don't feel obligated, but thank you, Simon, for bringing up the Discord for everybody. Also, expect that we will be watching Return of the Sith in Discord together soon. It seems like Discord works better than Cast right now. We were trying out alternatives to Rabbit. But at least we weren't having the issue that you used to have with Discord, where it does the voice attenuation, so when someone speaks it... Cheers! Yeah! Glug, 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 glug. I totally just lost my train of thought. Anyway, we've been watching Star Wars because a friend of mine has never seen them. And I was like, well, I need to fix this. I've made 3 people in my life. The only 3 people I ever came across who had not seen Star Wars, I made them watch Star Wars. One was my ex Tim. One was friend of mine in the day nights Gerthang, and the other one is Leaf. But yeah, that's what we did on Friday. We watched Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. So soon we're gonna watch Return of the Sith. And then I'm not sure what order I'm gonna show the rest of the movies in to him, but because I wanted to rewatch all the Star Wars stuff in Star Wars chronological order, not like release date chronological order. But since he had never seen them, I was like, that you have to have Star Wars be your first Star Wars movie. Hello? So, we're doing that. Have you seen the new movie yet? Yes, I have. I've seen all of the Star Wars content. Well, not all, because there's a lot. Like, I've never seen the Clone Wars series and blah, blah, blah. Those are things that I kind of want to... Like, I want to look up a Star Wars universe, like, watch guide and rewatch the stuff that I've seen, like the original movies, duh. But also, like, fit in stuff that I haven't seen yet. Yes, no spoilers at all whatsoever. Never, ever, 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 ever spoilers allowed in this channel. Seen episode 3 enough to remember it somehow, but I don't remember much else. Interesting. The door opens, your passenger settles in on the back seat. She's a regular. You know her address. Everything okay, honey? All good, Jackie. You've known Jackie for years now. A friend of a friend, and a rather well-liked prostitute in your old neighborhood. I hope spring's going to be warmer than last year, because I can't stand freezing my ass off anymore. She's been working in the Bois de Bologna. Boys of Bologna for 2 years now. They're just full of it. Every now and then she treats herself to a ride home in a taxi. I mean, it's a very far drive. What's the latest news? You can tell Jackie anything. Almost anything, that is. Is your back better? You smile. It's okay, less painful. She's unconvinced by your lie. You can see it in her eyes. That bastard really did you, didn't he? Can I ask you something, Jackie? She leans forward. Anything you want, honey. You tell her about Lieutenant Bousset, about her threats and your ... mission. I mean, if anyone's gonna get good intel, it's a prostitute. Thank you, Simon, for bringing up the spoilers command for any new people around. No, I appreciate it. You're awesome, dude. Tried watching cartoons but can't get into them. Fair enough. Is it because of the tone, or is it just, like, the animation style? Like, what about it is off-putting for you? I was a big fan as a kid, big Trek fan now. Can't wait to see new Picard movies, or series. I kind of want to go back and rewatch, and not rewatch, and watch Star Trek. I was not into it when I was a kid. It was just too much. My parents were into it. They would watch it. It was too much talking. I remember just being like, no one ever shuts up. Although I did like the one scene, come to Quarks. Quarks is fun. Come right now. Don't walk. Run. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Like, that was a thing that me and my dad quoted a lot. But, like, that's the only thing I remember. Can't wait for Clone Wars to come back. Herm. Oh, hey, Bear. How you doing? What has the city of Bologna done to Americans? And also, it's never stopped fascinating me how much of the pronunciation shifted. Well, I wonder, like, how did the meat come to be known as that anyway? You haven't watched any Star Wars trailer? Yeah, me either. I'm always torn with trailers because they seem spoilery. Yes. Although, I will say the trailer for Mulan, I mean, like, that's a reboot, so, like, most people are gonna know Mulan already. But dude, it looks so good. I'm so excited. I can't wait for March. Doing alright, that's good. I think it's the animation. I heard there's going to be Darth Maul series on Disney Plus coming out. Nice. Anyway, you got screwed again, honey. You're too nice. She sucks her teeth. You and the cops, you're going to have to see someone or start banging one. Jackie. Okay, right. You're the boss. I'll ask around. Some of my clients might know something. A pause. You know it's coming. You're expecting it. But fair's fair. The next ride is free, okay? Yeah. You nod silently. You meet her eyes in the rearview mirror. Anyhow, take care of yourself, okay? You give her a smile. You know me. She looks pensive. Yeah, right, I do. That's the problem. She starts talking all at once. She speaks quickly, an incessant flow. I already told you how shitty the new law is, huh? You nod yes. Jackie is referring to a law to fine sex workers' clients. One of my regulars came back to see me today. Did you know they're going to make them take a class now, too? A class? Yeah, a class. Clients are already paying fines, and now they're being forced to attend a 2-day class. Sure, go on and tell them it's not normal to see a prostitute. This client of mine, I know he didn't like it much. But he told me they were arrogant, you know, like they were talking down to the convicted clients or something. I don't understand the government, the politicians. We exist, we're not going away. We pay taxes too, do you realize that? I pay taxes like you, like everyone else. Almost everyone, that is. In this goddamn country today, the richer you are, the less you pay. What a mess. She goes contemplative for a moment. When she speaks again, her voice is gruff. I'm only doing my job, you know. There are people who come talk to us. They talk to us about reinsertion and all that. It's great for the young girls who just started, but for the... that's, not a word that you should use nowadays. Transvestites. That's like super old school. I'm thinking this might be a little bit of a translation thing. You know how in the early game we talked about last time how like things were phrased a little strangely? Specific type of mortadella was originally from Bologna? Ah, okay. Ah, interesting. You don't have Disney Plus until March? Who's we? Are you in a different country? I forget. The Uruguayans and Colombians, there's no way they're going to find work by themselves. And me, it's been too long. There's no way I'm going to be a checkout person in a grocery store. First of all, I'd run into clients all the time. She smiles, proud of her little joke. No, serious. It's just that it's my job. I chose to do it. That's the great advantage of this line of work. Even you didn't choose. Nod. Your friend answers with a smile. The ride continues for a while in silence. To me, what's really outrageous, she seems saddened by the conversation. What really gets me is the fact they're not helping us any more than before, the cops, the state police, the whole lot. They ignore us just like before. They threaten us just like before. They make fun of us just like before. Like they only pass the law for the money. $1,500 for the first offense, $3,000 for the second. A pretty stiff price for a trick. The upshot? We have fewer clients. Makes sense, huh? Funny country we live in. The land of the rights of man and all that. Her voice is tinged with anger. Rights my ass. The only ones who come around now are the regulars, or the basket cases, or the guys who don't know what they're risking. Yeah, particularly the guys who don't know what they're in for. She gives a funny laugh. It sounds like crushed metal. It's good business for the cops at any rate. You just stand there in the alley, you wait for a car to park, you nab the client when he's getting out of the van. And presto, $1,500. You nab 4 or 5 a night and you're set to go. Funny country, the land of human rights and all that. You check off all the boxes, your boss is happy, you get your bonus. And all this without a thought for good old Jackie and her clients. A moment later, you pull into the side street where Jackie lives. The building is in poor repair, the hall lights flickering. You park in the first available spot. Always a pleasure, honey. She pays the fare with a few crumpled bills and coins. That's all I have. No problem. She smiles. Good night, hun. She gets out of the cab and walks slowly over to the entrance of her building. She's not in much of a hurry to get home. Oh, thank you. I was expecting no tip with the way she said that. Oh, in England? Yeah. Oh no, feel free to ask. It's a really old-fashioned term. Like nowadays you would just say like drag queen for someone who does drag. Rather, there aren't really, like cross-dresser is also kind of old-fashioned. I think without a ton of knowledge on why these are old-fashioned, because I never really looked into it, being born in the 80s does not make you old. Nyarbad, thank you for being a patron of Hype for 6 months. I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute. Thank you so much. How you doing? And if someone knows better than me, please feel free to jump in and correct me or elaborate. But I think that there are just more terms that better describe people who would have been under the umbrella of like cross-dresser or transvestite. So yeah, that's technically what the term means, but nobody uses it anymore. Except for Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I still haven't seen because I wanted to see Rocky Horror Show. Like, I want to see it live first and do all the things, and you're supposed to come in costume and bring stuff, and I don't know what any of that is. Alright, let's see. I know we've met this person and this one and this douche. These two look similar. So there's like this guy, I think we met him, and these three. Let's see. Passidex. So yeah, we've met you. We've met this douche. There's the other guy that looks similar. I guess we have not met them. We met her, Annabelle. So mustache or doppelganger. Okay. Again, I like meeting the new passengers, so. Or this guy. This one's closest, so I'll click. Also, we haven't picked up any of our suspects. We haven't gotten them as an option. I need to drive to Issy. Okay. That's a good price for a short little trip. The passenger getting in your cab barely says hello. Mumbles an address and buries his head in his laptop. He taps away, not saying a word as you start driving. You have seen passengers like him before. Introverts, silent types, people so absorbed in what they are doing, they don't even notice you. I don't want to be talked to when I'm in a cab. Or when someone's taking me somewhere, like, quiet time. I know some people, like, want the cab driver to talk to them and, like, make conversation. Don't talk to me. What about you guys? Do you want the cab driver to like tell you things? It's a little different, I guess, if I was like a tourist. Then they can point out this or that. Like, I understand they're trying to be helpful. I guess they're just, I can understand why people are talking to them, but in general, like, I don't want to be talked to. You've never taken a cab? Really? Huh. Interesting. The road flies by. I'll of course always be polite if someone's trying to talk to me, but I would prefer just not being spoken to. The sound of the passenger's fingers on the keyboard reminds you of the sound of rain hitting the hood of your car. The only reason I bother people here is because it's a video game and otherwise we won't interact with anybody, you know, like, and we're trying to get information, like, we don't want to be blackmailed. He grumbles a laconic reply. Good word. He dives back into his computer screen. You keep an eye on him. His fingers are flying. You get the impression he's not typing full sentences. The rhythm is too short, halting. Are you a programmer? He lifts his head and looks at you with interest. In a manner of speaking... Wait, this is Jonas? Is this one of our suspects? Did I pick up a suspect by accident? Or is this a coincidence? How did you know? From the way you were typing. He pauses and flashes a tiny smile. Very perceptive. He stares back at his keyboard and types a few lines on the keyboard. Did I insert the word keyboard in there? He lifts his keyboard all of a sudden. Keyboard. What do you think of the world? Yeah, this is our suspect. Okay, sweet. I did not recognize the picture. Because we've only seen the pictures of our suspects once. And since when you hover over, it doesn't tell you people's names, I had no idea. Oh, I'm so glad. He holds his hand up. Sorry, that question came out of nowhere. How do you perceive the world? Did someone create it? A god? Many gods? An alien being? You remain silent for a moment. Tell the truth. I used to believe, but I don't anymore. Les hackers! You were straight with Jonas about your beliefs. I used to believe, but I don't anymore. In God? Yahweh? Allah? Tell the truth. I don't see that there's anything to be angry about. He just listed the name for God in 3 different religions, so... Allah. The passenger nods. But not anymore. Tell the truth. I'm not finding anything to be offended by. Nope, no more. I understand. Things have been rough for believers lately. I stopped believing long before. He smiles. You hesitate, then say, I'm just not interested. He smiles at you. I get it. I feel the same way. Personally, I believe that all of this, indicates the world around him, is of absolutely no importance. The world doesn't exist. The earth, the moon, the sun, how you felt when you got out of bed this morning, none of that exists. He pauses dramatically. No way to know whether or not it was on purpose. Excuse me? No, let him keep talking. I find that people are more willing to open up when I just shut up half the time. Never been in a bar, never taken a cab. Interesting. Any particular reason for either of those things? Remember some really annoying conversations with cab drivers, so I'd rather they didn't initiate anything. Most of them are fine, but you never know who you get. That's fair. Because my disability, cab drives are awkward. So why are you disabled? Or they get very ungracious about having to load my chair. Ew. The fuck? Do people in England just not understand how to speak to other humans, like, with respect? slap him. No need? Okay. It's like none of your friends ever had birthdays at a bar? Or like parties? I've been to so many gatherings that were at bars that I can't imagine having literally no reason ever in my life to not enter one. Kit, my love, how you doing? He clicks his tongue and stares at you. You feel uncomfortable. All of this is a simulation. Yeah, we knew that. I sincerely believe that. Computer simulation? Flashes a crooked smile. Exactly. We're more of a scientific experiment, a cryptocurrency mining operation. Or maybe even an accident. No more, no less. He pauses and looks at you. So he thinks we are a mistake in the code? Or like some weird machine learning created us? How does it feel to learn that the world doesn't exist? Well, I don't feel like I learned that. I feel like you told me you believe that. 8? Oh, jeez. That's so shitty, dude. I'm so sorry. Not a party person? Okay. Your life experience is very different from mine. Very, very different. I personally cannot imagine. Because that is just so vastly different from my own experience. How does it feel that our God is nothing more than a computer program? It's one theory. Right. It's a theory. He smirks. And we'll probably never really know That's why I'm working on this project. He glances at his computer. I'm trying to figure out whether or not we are really in a simulation. We live, we eat, we sleep, we love. But if we deliberately tried to put an end to the simulation, we might disappear. He stares intently at you. We are. Man, I really can't snap with my left hand, can I? I can't snap very loud. They've charged extra? What the hell? England, get your shit together. So I got my own car and why I'm learning to drive. Well, more power to you. You'll have a lot more freedom that way. Being able to get around by yourself is, it gives you a lot more freedom. As someone who didn't have a car in a place where you couldn't, unless you wanted to go to a cafe or the library, like I couldn't get anywhere because it was just too far away. It was like an unreasonable walk. Or like, there's highways, I'm not gonna walk on the highway. To now I'm in Portland where I can walk everywhere or take public transit. Like, just having that freedom has made me so much happier. Partied child of the 60s, just prefer to keep the fun times more personal. Maybe just keep to a small group of close pals. I mean, I guess I understand that, but I don't see how the bar prevents that from being an option. Go to bars if there's a good show involved. That too, yeah. There's lots of concerts in bars and stuff. Yeah, like, just because you are in a location doesn't mean you have to talk to anyone who you don't already know. Like, you could go to a bar with one other person and do nothing but speak with them quietly the whole night if you wanted to. Snaps his fingers. Boop-a-doop. We are no longer. He seems to love that part of his speech. He's relishing in it. How can I prove it? Well, first I have to find a flaw in the system. A flaw? Yes, if we are a simulation, we were programmed. And the ones who programmed us either made mistakes or tried to save money. Let them keep talking. So we just have to find the float value, the weak spot, so we can break it. We've got to crash the simulation and die in order to understand our own reality. It's a terrible fate, isn't it? Die to exist. Die to become real. Die to make our existence materialize. He pauses, smiles, stares. How does it feel to learn all that? Are you angry? Are you disappointed, sad, defeated, ready to commit suicide? Whoa? I go through all of those phases every day. Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds exhausting. He sighs. I tell myself the world isn't ready yet, and yet it's our future to discover our reality. He chuckles. You park your taxi in front of the address he gave you. He looks deeply into your eyes. So, how do you feel? I don't know, I guess is the most polite thing to say, because again, it's just a theory. Telling me your theory and what you believe you didn't like show me the truth of the universe. You didn't show me any proof. This is not something that I also believe, so it's not like a discovery. Excellent answer. A scientist's cardinal rule: always doubt, always question, always verify. One day, if an atheist states that Allah doesn't exist, that he knows this because there's no scientific proof of his existence, you will know that he does not have a true scientific mind. He looks up at his building. I'm talking and talking and didn't even notice what arrived. I thank you kindly for this talk. It's always interesting to bounce ideas off one another, to put them to the test. Oh, look! I love it! After all, we're waiting to wage war with the person or entity that made us. He pays his fare and gets out. He disappears quickly into his building, his laptop under one arm. Thank you for the tip. Wyoming! Welcome to the court of the hype, and thank you for the follow. Do 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 do. Shmeep me now. Huge culture shock, how tolerant people were of me in my wheelchair. Restaurants even gave you free drinks once. Aw. That's nice. Yeah, that's really... Do you mind if I ask, are you in like a more rural part of England, or are you like in London or like a city? Because I feel like often people in more rural and less populated areas tend to be a lot less tolerant in many ways, we'll just say. Probably because the flow of information and ideas is slower outside of a city, so they haven't quite gotten the update. They haven't gotten the same sort of rapidity of change that people and cultures in cities get. But that was just a guess and me waxing poetic there for a sec. I don't drink alcohol, nothing against bars or those who frequent them. Well, again, you don't have to drink alcohol to go to a bar. I've gone to bars and just had water, my own self, and I do enjoy drinking. Oh. We met Carolina and other people. Ooh, thank you for watering me. I am out of water. I was actually waiting for the end of the night so that I could go on my break and get more water. You've met Perva? Yeah, we met her before. I don't have any water. It's empty. We notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. Make out your name, your real name. It's from Busette with more information. Nothing in there. Neighbor flushes the toilet and the pipes shake. We're sleepy. Ooh, picture of crime scene 1. Will die. What does that say? Picture of crime scene 2. Picture of crime scene 3. Excellent. We got all of the new clues. Oh! Vampires exist is the real killer. Heard in my taxi. Jonas believes we're in a simulation. He's testing his theory. Yeah, but I think he's testing it on his computer. I don't think, it's owner of Dark Well. He's a dangerous man from hacker source. Huh? Huh. Interesting. Got a Jesus fish. Message crime scene 2. He watches you. I don't know why this leads to her. I really want to learn about the Moonflesh cult. Fish symbol seen in Gilda's church. Oh, drawn on the wall with blood. So how does that not connected to her? I still don't get how some of these things get attached to people. Message on crime scene 3 is lust. Only one God, he watches you, and lust. Okay. Fish, an original symbol for Christianity. Alright. Fishy fish. Fishy fish. Again, I don't know why this is connected to her, but sure. Our customer thinks that vampires are real. "75 miles south, near Southampton. She was our government. One of our MPs even stated disabled people are too stupid to understand money. And therefore we should be paid minimum wage and nothing else." What the fuck? I am so sorry. That is, insanely fucked up. Okay, so I'm gonna say we don't have enough evidence to say anything really about any of these people. I don't feel like any of this information ties anyone to the killer. And this was the same way that the first thing went. Hey, Wormy, how you doing? So we're gonna just end the night, and then I'm gonna go on my break so I can get more water. And use the bathroom. Open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. Your brain is running at full speed. Your body aches and you're in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. Glance at your investigation board. It's slowly filling up. You wipe your hand over your face like it'll help sleep come. Your fingers are shaking. Stress, probably. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. What if the world is really just a simulation? What if your world is just a game, somebody else's leisure activity? Would that radically change what you would do? You'd rather not think about that, guy. It definitely wouldn't change the way I do what I do. Because even in video games, I can't be mean to people. I can't do it even knowing that it's fake. In law school, and clearly the brain dead one is you, ma'am. Yeah, for sure. Ooh, that's nice, Wormy. The choices you make, your fate, and suddenly you're asleep. You open one eye. Someone flushes the toilet and you hear the pipes shake. One of them runs under your bed. You find it calming and get up quickly. And night 3. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break so that I can get some more water and stretch a little bit. I will be gone for 2 minutos, about 3 minutes at the most. Enjoy the pitter-patter of rain, and I'll be back shortly.